There we go. Still getting set up here. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Let's see. That goes like that. Yep. How's it going? It is going pretty good. Can you hear me okay, King Randy? Hey, there's good old Mason. Okay, good deal. Mason, I've been seeing some of those combines that guy builds, man. I'm pretty excited for you to get one of those. Those things look pretty cool. I've been seeing those pop up at the, I guess the guy built a few at that St. Louis show. Oh. Ah. Yeah, I'm pretty excited too. I'm interested to see if the hype of Lafayette is really all it's up to snuff. Yeah. I keep noticing different things just sitting here looking at it. Like with the engine detail. Um, wasn't the battery boxes like in the front of these? Like the batteries in the front here? I could be mistaken. But I thought I remember like someone saying or something like the batteries were in the front of these 8850s. I thought. You know. 24-volt system. Yeah, I'm just sitting here. I'm trying to look at different things. I'm still finding different things, you know. It's pretty wild. I never, you really have to sit down with one of these and really spend a fair bit amount of time before you realize just how much detail's in them, you know. Like, probably one of my favorite little details is a sediment bowl. I'm just trying to remember. I think memory serves me right. The batteries were kept up front here. Could have been wrong. Man, even looking at the belt system, I know it don't look quite real on this like generator here. Or is that that's not the generator, that's like your AC compressor. That's the air conditioner compressor there. Is that right, Mason? Is that that's the air compressor or AC compressor, isn't it? Hopefully you can see that. All right, yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, see, I guess here's something I missed. These look to be Are they really new? That's the thing. Are they really new? You know, because here's the thing. We'll scoot this back for a moment there, Randy. If this is what you're talking about, yeah, that's on. If you're talking about these, the tracked ones. Well, here's the funny thing about the tracked ones. Is I had one a long time ago. Like 2 or 3 years ago, I made one since they didn't. So I took one of the green carts that had tracks and made my own with the black. But the only thing different that I can tell with the new J&M carts is the wheels are different. They have different painted wheels, I should say. Outside of that, I don't know. I mean, I wanted to get a red cart on tracks. I may get that, the J&M on tracks that's red. But I have all three of the black ones, so I don't know. I mean, I'll just have to take a look at them. That's the thing of it. I've seen those. 3 batteries located up front. That's what I thought. I don't remember where I'd seen that, Mason. Maybe it was Big Tractor Power or something, but I thought I had remembered seeing something about the batteries being up front. Three batteries, man. It's interesting. Randy, there is some grain carts I'm looking at getting. I know that there's those the new Avalanche. I forget which ones they are, but there's a few of them that I plan on getting. I'll end up getting all those at Lafayette. So, the new track ones. See, Mason, that's what I thought too. Looking at the pictures online, they look the exact same as basically the one I have. Basically the one I made. Pull this back. Huh. Well, I thought that third link looked really long, but maybe it was just me. The rims also have hub detail. Bolts are painted, looks cool. Oh, huh. And if you notice, they went from like a cream color to a silver. Notice that. There we go. Oh, you're talking about on this. Yeah. I thought you were talking about the grain carts. My bad. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Mason, you might be able to answer this. What are these like 5 bolts right here? You have the regular rim bolts. I guess, I would have expected kind of, let's see here. So you got these 5 bolts here. I guess, I would assume that this is what mounts this wheel and tire to like a hub for the dual. But is this to like an extra, oh, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm asking. I don't know. I kind of would have thought it would have went all the way around. If anything, you wouldn't just have these 5 in a row here. I don't know if you know what that is. That's something that's kind of interested me looking at it. It's part of the hub. Ah. Huh. I'm about halfway done on my inner bolts. Hmm. So cool. I'll show you. I wonder, what was it, that 8450 that we seen, Mason? I wonder if it had the same setup. It did. That was a cool looking tractor. I really like the tractor. That tractor. 20 funds. Yeah, this is such a cool model though, man. I had a 9RX 640 16th scale. I sold it and basically sold it and a couple other things to make room for this and stuff. So I didn't think this was even supposed to come out till March or September, or not March or September, March or April. And then they sprung it on us here at the end of January, 1st of February, and I'm like, oh. Man, wouldn't that be cool if the hydraulic remotes here, they all had the caps that popped open. It's definitely hard for me to walk away. Very cool model, guys. It is very cool. Mason, I have a feeling by the end of the year, one of these will wind up in your collection. Possibly. I could see it. And that door hits that big old valve cover. Now, Mason, you're really smart whenever it comes to this stuff, and you're really full of knowledge. Big Tractor Power was talking about these having, farmers were complaining of reliability issues. What is your oldest toy? Mine's a 1/16 scale. My oldest is, I have a 8760 that my dad gave me when I was a real little kid, and I'm 40, and so it's probably pushing about 35 years old. So, but what I was asking Mason here is he would probably know. Big Tractor Power was talking about how farmers were complaining about the reliability, and I think he even said John Deere had a recall on these on some parts on these engines. Do you know what the failing point of these engines were? Was it something internally? Was there problems with like the heads, or I don't remember someone saying. Do you have any Deutz Alice toys? Getting some from Dalton's eventually. I have Alice Chalmers stuff. I have a 16th scale Alice Chalmers 440. I have a 32nd scale 440. I have a 32nd scale 7580. And I have some 64 scale Alice Chalmers stuff. D19, D21, and DT 250, and a few other things like that. I have a custom 7580 that I did. It just put a couple of saddle tanks on it. I have a 16th scale D19 with disc. Man, that's hard because most of my collection is mostly four-wheel drives. That's kind of where my collection kind of centers around, is these four-wheel drive tractors. So, I mean, unless there's other four-wheel drives that come out. I mean, I do have a 4W220. I don't know if I'm going to say I did a review on it, but as far as like 16th scale Alice Chalmers, Deutz Alex stuff, man, if it's in someone else's collection by chance, I get to talk to them about it. Maybe I could, but outside of my collection, that's, sadly, I don't, I'm a big AGCO guy, and I would love to be able to have the room to be able to kind of expand my collection a little bit, maybe. But my collection primarily is these four-wheel drives. So I do have some other things like sprayers and grain carts and some implements, But outside of that, and then I got a handful of combines. So, but outside of that, Deutz Alice, I'll show you kind of what I got as far as, like, here's just a few. I mean, that's not everything, but because I've got a few of the Alice stuff scattered around on different things. It would be cool. Trying to remember the best place for me to purchase a wet frame. So, if you're talking about like new in the package stuff, Cody, I would check out my friend Kevin Tolka, Kevin's Farm Toys on Facebook. And he's also got a brick and mortar store in Odin, Illinois. I'd check him out for starters. I think he's also got an Instagram page, Kevin Tolka's Farm Toys or something like that. I'd check him out. And then there's always Outback Toys. There's a great place to check out is Farm Toys for You. What's great about them is they have a lot of stuff that's out of the package. Yeah. Dalton's, Outback Toys. What I was saying about Farm Toys for You is they have toys out of the package. And a lot of that stuff is discount or marked down, because it's out of the package and stuff. And you can usually pick that stuff up pretty cheap. So, if you don't care about it being new in package, or if you're planning on like modifying it or customizing it, some of the stuff is like maybe broken and it may have like a broken tire or something, and you can put aftermarket wheels and tires on it and got you a simple little custom there. So check them out. They're a pretty good one. Windy Hill Farm Toys is another one. Dalton's and Outback are bad about their shipping kind of being high. If you're going to buy from them, make sure you buy more than one thing. Get your money's worth so you're not paying a lot on shipping. My son and I have been going Kenfeld and John Deere store. I just want to be able to see everything I can get. There's also the Lafayette Toy Show coming up in Indiana. I don't know where you're located, Cody, but there's one coming up this 1st of March. The first weekend in March, it's the 3rd largest toy show, quite possibly maybe even the 2nd largest toy show. Water pump problems. I'm in Ohio. So yeah, okay, if you're in Ohio, then, if you wanted to make a day trip, I don't know where you're at and located in Ohio. I've got friends. No, you're good, Mason. I've got friends in Dayton. When am I going to do my farm toy tour? Here soon. I've about got everything organized. So, but I've got a friend in Dayton. So, but in Lafayette, the 1st of March, it will be a huge toy show. I have never been, but a lot of people tell me it is just, you can't wrap your mind around how big it really is. So if it's anything as big as St. Louis, if not bigger, then it's quite the thing, and you will be able to find anything and everything there, I'm sure. So, and you'll be able, that's the cool thing. You go to this, yeah, you'll pay your money in gas, but at least you're not paying money in shipping. So you'll be able to use that money towards toys. Lafayette Farm Toy Show. I don't know if you're on Facebook. It's on there. It's in Lafayette, Indiana. Lafayette, Indiana is around the Indianapolis area. My grandfather to collect farm toys. Oil starvation is what a lot of people complained of. Built in for 7 years. That's cool. Always a wealth of information. Always. I know my good friend Mason here. He's looking forward to the Lafayette Farm Toy Show as well. He is a very big collector, very wealth of knowledge about anything in this hobby. He's been in this hobby 3 times as long as I have, probably. Maybe even longer. I gotta check. Man, that would have been cool if that toolbox opened up. Man, that would have been a simple little detail I feel like they could have gotten away with doing. But I guess they kind of got it too close to the cab there. It would hit the cab if you tried to open it. Man, that would have been cool. Well, oh yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, yeah. Um, you can actually see the brake and the clutch pedal down there. I think if you use your imagination, man, you can almost see the keys setting ignition. AC controls and vents up top too. Yeah, that's right. You said that. Sure does. Yeah. Good eye. Good eye. I tried finding like a little pin cam that I could have Bluetooth. Man, I couldn't find nothing. I even went on Amazon. I was hoping to find something that I could hook up to my phone where it could get in there and look all around the cab. I even got on Walmart's website and looked at Walmart and I couldn't find nothing. I thought that would have been really cool to really get in there with a camera. No, I looked at the local electronics stores. Nobody had nothing. I was bummed. I thought that would, you and I were talking, that was a really good idea. You were talking about getting into the cab and I was like, oh man, it really kind of got me thinking. Because I know that they exist, but no one around here had anything like that would have worked, like a little pin camera or something where I could have just kind of stuck it in here, like my finger, But no local stores. I looked. I was bummed. Because it would have been cool, because I tried to get, here, I'll take this down, but like, there's decals down below the seat there, and I wanted to get a good look at them and see what all they actually said there, And see, I'll get a light in here. But like, there's those decals under the seat, and I really wanted to get down there and see what those were saying. And I'm sure that that's mainly just your seat adjustment. Telling you about your seat adjustment. And even, the flooring, how it's all done up is right. It's such a cool view. I think someone mentioned the VIN label on the back. Oh, yeah. I think that someone was you. See, that's the stuff I never know about, but you... Oh. Try and... see that's... you can't see it on the phone, but I can read it. It says John Deere. And there appears like there's actually writing on that. Like, if I were to take a picture of that and possibly zoom it in and try and clean that up, I think there's actual numbers and stuff on that. I know they make lens. I think they make like lenses and stuff for cameras on phones. so you can like really zoom in. I don't know if you can. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's the VIN plate right on the rear axle. And like I said, it does clearly say John Deere on there. And then there's, if I can get it cleaned up, there's actual writing, like where the VIN and stuff would be. The decal on this mirror wasn't quite put on all the way. And see where it's kind of bubbled where it didn't get pushed on. That's a good question. I like that question. We'll close that. You know, you can't compare apples to apples per se, since they are a different tractor. But, you know, you do get, like with that VIN plate, you know, you get these VIN decals here, like, you know, so I don't know if does this chair turn? As far as what I believe the interior, from what I can tell, I think the interior of the 8850 might be just a little bit more detailed, which you got to figure, you know, the 8850 is a tractor that's about 30 years newer than this. So it's going to have, you know, it's going to be less crude. But, you know, oh, and side by side, oh. Yeah, I like the way you think. I think the Wagner weighs more. Oh. About lost my phone there. Oh. Oh yeah, you can tell the Wagner's just a little bit bigger tractor. I mean, the Wagner, you know, you got a lot more metal, I think, up front here on the Wagner Then you do the 8850, and I mean, you look at this great big old front end here. Man, the Wagner's got a lot. You know, the cool thing about the Wagner, which just a different tractor altogether, like I was saying, is, you know, you have both of these. Uh-oh. Well, I don't think that's supposed to do that. There it went. You know, you got both of these doors. Hey, Old Iron Farm Toys. You know, what's neat about the Wagners is you got these both doors that open that give you a clean look completely through the cab. You know, whereas like on a Sound Guard, you know, you only got the one door. You know, and the cool thing about the Wagner is you get to see these hydraulic lines running down these hydraulic outlets here on the back of the cab, and you get, it's kind of more of like what you call a rudimentary look. You know, you get an old time look at farming, and then a little bit more of a newer look with the 8850, you know, the more modern, you know. And you got to think this tractor's approaching over 40 years old. The thing I like about the Wagner is you get, yeah, that's the AC compressor, and you get actual lines, you know. See, like here's your AC compressor. You get actual lines. I believe that's what that is. Or is that like kind of like a power steering, maybe? Because this is technically your AC. I bet that's some form of like power steering, maybe. Yeah, yeah. I like this big old mesh grill. That's pretty cool. Big old axle. I don't know. I still think the 8850 is where it's at. I can't, man. Big Cam 850. Yeah, Big Cam 855, yeah. I was watching Big Tractor Power today. I didn't realize that 855 was kind of a common motor itself. Seemed Big Tractor Power seemed like that was kind of put in a lot of tractors too. Very good motor. Man, if you made me choose, I'm choosing this behemoth, the 8850, man. You know, if you're going to make me choose this thing, not taking nothing away from this Wagner, it's cool. I don't know. I think I think this 8850 has a little bit more of an aggressive look to it. I don't know. I don't know. I think that's, 370 horsepower. Yeah. The one, like, gripe I have, Mason, about the Wagner is this flange where the turbo is supposed to meet the manifold. There's a gap there. I would have liked to have seen that, like, actually more touching, but, it is what it is. Can't be perfect, I guess, but I don't know if this is supposed to be this way, if this is accurate, but they're two different shades of green. And I know, like, you see this shade, and I know John Deere has kind of changed its color a little bit through the years, but I thought that there was still a little bit of consistency to it. But like, you can tell that this is definitely a little lighter than the 8850. Too much plastic on the rear. Yeah, that would have been cool, that 3-point would have been made out of metal. This is all plastic. Pretty much. It's here. The drawbar hitch is metal. This is all plastic. The hydraulic controls is all plastic. The PTO, this whole tail section's plastic. The drawbar, that's metal. So this is metal, plastic, 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 plastic. No, still looks great. It looks great. Pros and cons. Yeah, there is pros and cons to everything. Just need a little chain going from here to here. Keep the third link up like the old school, like I used to see them do. Have a little chain come, or even like a little bungee cord they used to put around here to keep the third link pinned up. I think some manufacturers even had a way. Oh, I'm not worried about the paint. It was just something I noticed. I didn't know if it was a historical accuracy that the paint, the if it was something that they were doing to be historically accurate, that their shade in green was different. Like, I didn't know if that was like a historical thing. It's kind of what I was driving at. But what I was saying is, I know some manufacturers put a thing here that holds the third link up in real life on real tractors. Tell you a story on it. Gotcha. There's, oh, that V8. That is a cool motor for sure. And just so people know, oh yeah, yeah, that is cool. You got to have her wide open, man. Yeah, let me get something here. So for those that don't know, the radiator fan actually moves. And it's the same way on the Wagner. Pretty cool. Now, would this has a PTO. A Kinsey 1050 grain cart wouldn't be too much for this, would it? I feel like, 370 horse would be enough to pull that Kinsey 1050 grain cart around. You didn't know that the Wagner's fan moves either, Mason? Well, after you pointed that out to me the other day, I was like, I'm curious. And so I was like, I'm going to do something. I'm gonna get up here. See if I can do this. There we go. All right. There it goes. Well, I've got that light there. I've got that light there. Got that light there and that light there. I've got a few more lights. I've got another light bar. I've got to try and figure out how to mount. And then I'm going to get another like floodlight to have, and that should light everything up how I need it to be. In theory, I say. Kind of curious, you see that. So did John Deere they didn't do a 7520 or a 7020 Precision Elite, did they? They just did a Precision or Prestige. Ertl did do everything correctly from everything I've seen. Yeah, for sure. Because I'm curious, I wonder what the next John Deere tractor, Prestige Select, will be. Because if they continue on with the generations like this, it'd have to be a 60 or 70 series. You would think. If they continue on with the articulated four-wheel drives, I wonder if they're going to end up doing a row crop tractor. That would be interesting. Man, if they did an 8770, an 8970, I'd definitely dig that. Man, if they did, that would be so cool. I'm sure they'd do a 60, an 8960. That'd be cool, but I'd want them to do the big one of that series, which would be the 8970. Oh, that'd be cool. Pre-order, right? Oh, man, an 8970 full power shift. And I have a special thing in my heart for those. I remember, I'll tell a quick story here. Grew up on the farm, and there was a farmer that farmed right in front of our house, coincidentally. And man, they had a fleet of those 60 and 70 series. And I just, I had a toy version of one, and I just always remember looking at those things out in the field, being like, man, those things look so mean. And yet, somehow or another, I became an AGCO guy. But I always remember those things just looking like absolute units out there in the field. Those will probably, don't get me wrong, I love this 8850, but the 60 and 70 series John Deeres will be probably always my favorite John Deere tractor. Because, like I said, I remember seeing those in the field as a kid across, in front of our house, just always being like, man, those things look so tough. I had a toy version of one, but man, you see those things out in the field working, especially whenever I was a kid, I just always thought they looked just like those were it. Just so tough looking. We farmed with all IH and Farmall stuff as kid, whenever I was a kid. I guess the next big toy coming to my collection will be a the CA325 Steiger. That'll be here in June. So, but anywho, Mason, I can't say thank you enough, man. I'm glad you joined my live stream, dude. I always enjoy talking to you. You're such a wealth of knowledge, man. It's been real fun. I enjoy getting these out. I'm glad I got this 8850. I'm glad I was able to get it. Got it from Side and Stricker Novi. I'm glad they were able to get it for me and everything. So I'm glad to have a friend such as Mason that helps me out, and that he is just this wealth of knowledge. Retains more knowledge than I ever could about this hobby, that's for sure. So, but I hope everyone has a good night. I have fun talking to everyone. Come back and see us again. Keep your furrows straight, and we will see you soon.